Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, should I say, everyone as well. Hello, Chase. Welcome back to Magic Partners Live. Here we are again. It's been a couple of weeks, but you know what? Really happy to be back. Loads and loads of news coming through from Disney in the last couple of weeks. We're going to try and get through it once again in 1 hour, but we never succeed in that. How are you going, Chase? I know that this week there's been a huge controversy going on at Disneyland, which I'm going to get you to talk through in a minute. Disneyland being Chase's, his expert level person at Disneyland. So we're going to get you to run through. We've got a big story that happened on Disneyland Today, all about it. So how are you going, Chase, firstly? How's your week been?
I'm doing all right. All right. Hanging in there, staying busy.
Yep. That's good. We've been in lockdown here in Australia for about 8 weeks now. I think it's 8 or 9 weeks. So haven't really left the house that much to tell you much, but I've been had my ear to the ground and looking at what's been happening at Disney, and there has been quite a lot. So let's go over to this leading story then, and I'll just get you to run through a little bit of what's been happening right here, Chase, and it has something to do with what's going on with fast passes at Disneyland, right? We've got a new system that not everyone seems to be that happy about. So what happened, Chase? Tell us.
Well, as many of you know, the breaking news is Disney and, is for both parks, for Walt Disney World and Disneyland, are getting Disney Genie. And Disney Genie by itself is a free platform. It's going to be, it's not a separate download. It'll be right inside your Disney apps. So that'll be the official Disneyland app for California, and the My Disney Experience app for Walt Disney World. And it's going to be a lot like the app in many ways, the way that it already performs, in that it will help you with your mobile ordering. It'll help you with the just like the ride times and all that kind of stuff. But I think the biggest advantage of it will be it will help you with an itinerary. And basically you plug in what you love to do at Disney, rides, food, whether you like to go and see what favorite characters you have. Do you like Star Wars? Do you like Marvel? Do you like princesses? All this kinds of, how would you plan your day, and it figures out an itinerary for you by saying these are probably going to be based on what you said you like, the day that you would end up having. And so it is figuring in real time the wait times, projected wait times for all the attractions that you like, what would be a good time to stop for food and snacks. And it'll basically plan out your day for you, and you can either ask it why it chose that, or, kind of look at it, and then it'll send you updates throughout the day. If wait times have changed, it may switch around the attractions, but it's supposed to help kind of truncate things so that it's you get more out of your day. Right. So it may say this is the shortest wait time for the attractions that you love. You should probably go in this order. And, and for that aspect of it being completely free, I think that's pretty cool. I think the itinerary aspect of Genie is going to be really, really neat, and I'm interested to see how that works for just a normal day at the park. Now, where it gets complicated is adding Genie Plus, which for Walt Disney World is $15 and $20 for Disneyland.
Right.
This is where you are going to see the most kind of controversy from this program. And that is because you pay for Genie Plus per day per person.
Right.
So if you have a large family, that might not be a very good choice for you. It's going to be coming out to be pretty pricey, but for Walt Disney World, you get 40 attractions to choose from on Genie Plus.
Yep.
And for Disneyland, you get 15 attractions to choose from. It does figure in park hopping. So if you're going to another park, you can also, the attractions will be from all parks.
Right.
I'm willing to guess.
Yep.
So with that, you start your day and you're like, okay, activating Genie Plus, and then what you can do is it works like Max Pass at this point, and you can say, okay, I want to do Space Mountain. And so it will give you the very first time available for this lightning pass or this lightning lane.
Yep.
And then basically you can keep on doing that. So it'll just, after you get off Space Mountain, you can pick another attraction that's on the Genie list. But then you have a program within a program, and if there are attractions that you want to go on that do have this lightning lane and they are not part of Genie Plus, then you have 2 attractions you can choose to pay for separately per person.
Right.
So I'm willing to guess they have not announced any of the rides yet that are going to be participating in this program, but it's pretty easy to tell if they already have a Fast Pass lane. You can pretty much be assured that that's going to be part of the lightning lane that they're doing.
Yep.
And then of course the extra attractions are most likely going to be the ones that are like high priority right now, like Rise of the Resistance, Web Slingers, maybe something like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So that would be 2 attractions that you get to pick that will be a separate charge from Disney or Genie Plus. So it is a very, very complicated system. It's very difficult to understand for some people. Like, am I going to have to pay, all the time? Is it something like, I've had people ask the question, is this going to be something where it's just going to assign me a random time, and if it's too late in the day that I'm going to get a refund? There are not refunds for this. It picks the next available time slot. And if anyone remembers the original Fast Passes, they usually had quite a considerable block. I think it was usually about 2 or 3 hours that you could come back within a time slot. So if you got it at like noon, it would say maybe come back between 1 and 3. And so that's why you couldn't hold too many during the day, because not only were they limited, but they had quite a sizable block of time, and you could only, hold a specific number. I think this is going to narrow down to 1 hour blocks. So it'll say, okay, if you're picking up your lightning lane and, you've got like an hour to go to it, and then that's how you can keep on adding attractions throughout the day, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get much out of it. So that is kind of how that appears to work.
And what was the reaction?
Be added to most people were also asking, can it be added to the Magic Keys and annual passes? And it cannot. So it is not available for as like part of a perk of being an annual pass holder or key holder.
And what sort of reaction did you sort of get from people with the article, and what's been happening around what people have been saying about the new system? Happy or sad about it, would you say?
I'd say we bypassed sad and went right to angry.
Why
A
is that?
lot of
Why
people.
apart from the fact that okay, now you have to pay for a fast pass, which you didn't in the past. Which we have seen at Universal, right? We've seen that, sort of you get an extra, you pay an extra amount of money and you get sort of a fast pass system. Apart from, obviously now having to pay for things, what are the hurdles people are seeing, do you think, with the new
Well,
system?
I think in general, I had a feeling this would happen because once they started talking about in Paris, which is where they implemented a pay per person per ride,
Yep.
um, people were like, "Oh man, is this coming to the United States?"
Mm.
Yes, it comes to the United States, and it's a
Yep.
little bit more of a sensitive topic. I don't know how well it's been received out in Paris,
Yep.
but it's a bit of a frustration out here. And so whenever you ask people to pay more money for something they're already paying a lot for, it's very, very frustrating. So you have a ticket that's going to be like 150 $170 a day, and
Yeah.
then you add $20 on top of this for each member of your family. And then if you want to do these,
Mm.
like say you missed out on the boarding groups at 7 a.m. or 12 p.m., now you could potentially pay to get on Rise of the Resistance. A lot of people feel this is just a huge money grab by
Mm.
Disney, and that all they're trying to do is squeeze more money out of you. I have a feeling that it is the exact opposite. I have a feeling that the reason why they're doing this is to get you to not use it. And
Right. Yep.
the reason I say that is because it has been working so well to not have fast pass right now. It's been wonderful wait times. People are like at Disneyland, they've been like, I'm not waiting more than 40 minutes for a ride. I pop
Yeah.
on, I pop off, I go to the next one, and I do it all over again. And I have more time to do stuff with my day and
Yep.
ride all the attractions that I want to, and park hop and see everything that I want to, and enjoy my time and enjoy the parks. And you can continue to do that. This isn't something that you have to pay for, it is completely optional. And I think by making this an extra cost on top of an extra cost,
Yep.
that people aren't going to want to use it all at once, and we'll still have a reasonable wait time for standby as we've been experiencing without FastPass.
Yep.
So I'm hoping it is a deterrent, like I'm suggesting. But a lot of people are angry about it. They do see it as a cash grab, and that all they want to do is get money,
Mm.
and that really they're saying, now I'm going to have to be attached to my phone and look at my phone all day. I go to the parks to have fun. I don't want to just walk around attached to my phone.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the thing is that you even right now with the Disney apps, you're really looking at your phone a very minimal amount of time. You may put in your order for mobile ordering, but now that isn't so much of a thing. Now they've opened up standby on a lot of restaurants, so you don't have to rely completely on mobile ordering.
Yep.
And that's a good thing. And
Thing.
then
Yep.
also, if you check wait times, okay, you may check one ride at a time. You may just see what in general is in the vicinity and what the wait times are, but there are also ride boards scattered throughout the park.
Yeah.
um, I know of a couple locations right off the bat. There's one just off to it's after you get after you're coming off Main Street. It's kind of in a little corner. It's a nice digital board that shows what a good part of the big attractions are, and what's really popular, what those wait times are, and they get updated. They're digital,
Yep.
so that if you don't like looking at your phone too much, that's an option that you have to check those ride boards. And so I think, this Disney is an experience is the experience you make it.
Yep.
If you're going to go in thinking, I'm going to be miserable, this isn't going to be fun,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to
Yep.
do all this, you're going to kind of ruin your trip right off the bat.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of look at this as a tool
Mm-hmm.
that you have at your disposal. If you want to use it, you can. If you don't want to participate in it at all, then don't, and just
Yep.
enjoy your day how you would plan it yourself and what you would like to do with your family, and figure out what you're going to do with the ride times, what is the shortest, and just plan your day accordingly. So I'm hoping that it's seen as a little bit more of a positive thing and not so much of a negative thing, because people are talking about like canceling their trips and, maybe I shouldn't go because of this whole thing. And really, it's just another tool and that we have, and it's not going to affect your trip if you don't let it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's an interesting concept because I know the biggest gripe that people had in the past was they're standing in a long line, and they finally get to the top, and then some of the fast passes just cruise on past them very, very quickly.
Right.
So. Yeah, it's an interesting concept to say that they're trying to stop people from actually even using FastPass, and to line up and with the lines being so nice at the moment, can I say that it just makes everyone a little bit happier. So I don't think Disney go out for a cash grab. That they're more worried about their guests and how their guests feel inside the park. I think that's very important to them. So I think you could have a point here about the Fast Pass. They've been wondering how they're going to get around it and how they're going to change it. And I mean, as everyone, pretty much 99% of the population has a mobile now. You're right. It's like a tool to help you, get around inside the park. And, I like the fact that, you can see everything that's happening and plan your day around it. I mean, the biggest thing I've always said about going into Disneyland is don't plan to do too much. Don't go in there thinking you can achieve everything in one day, because Disneyland is, Disney
It's
World.
bigger than it looks.
Yeah, it's extremely big. There's so many rides and attractions that you really need to see it over a few days. You can't see all of Disneyland and California Adventure in one day. It's physically and humanly impossible. So what you want to do is plan a few days, particularly if you're on holidays, to go through Disneyland, because there's no way you're going to rush through it in one day. And you won't have a really good experience if you try to rush it either. You just got to take your time.
Right.
Stop and smell the roses, right? Look around. Just sitting down, having a meal and watching people go by in Disneyland is an experience in itself. I mean, I know you've said it and I've said it a lot, but even just walking down Main Street is like an attraction, because there's so many things to see. So my biggest advice is use it as a tool and take your time in Disneyland. Don't rush anything, and don't expect that you can do everything in one day.
Especially with kids, because kids are. You have to make sure that they're rested. They're not pushed, because then you get the crankies, and you just then it starts becoming frustrating and agitating to for them, and it's a lot to take in. For a child, that's a very different experience. For an adult, it's like, okay, cool background music, but for a kid to hear people, background music, all this kind of stuff all at once, and then people talking on top of that, it's like, whoa, sensory overload. So you just have to sort of take a minute, sit down, have a drink, enjoy what's going around you, people watch a little bit. It is absolutely it's so much fun watching other people and what they're experiencing and what they're doing.
Yeah,
And
correct.
I think you will get more out of a vacation if you kind of just like sit back, say, okay, we need about, 30, 40 minutes to just rest our feet, recuperate, and then go back at it. And then figure
Absolutely.
out what the next best attraction will be for you,
Yeah.
or if it's a show that's available, something over an Avengers campus. Are there any characters that you want to see? Are they out? Stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's just, it takes a little bit of planning. There's nothing wrong with being prepared going into your trip.
Yep.
And I would encourage everybody who's going to kind of look at it that way and not so much worry about this as a money thing, because you're definitely not being forced to do it. So it'll still be the same Disneyland that it has been. It's just now you have the choice on whether you want to do this, which is,
Mm.
I understand that it was free. It was cool having fast passes to a limited amount of people. The distribution is probably going to be very similar here. It's probably going to be to a limited group.
Yep.
But it's there, and just have fun with everybody. Show everybody that you're going in and happy to be there, because you will have a much better vacation, I think.
Absolutely. So let's stay with Disneyland for the time being, and I just wanted to go over what's been happening around the park for Halloween, and this has been the first thing that's really happened, which is really exciting. Well, if you're visiting the park at the moment, it's something that you'll miss out on, which is the Haunted Mansion, but it is very exciting because it's closed. For Santa Claus to come in and change it to the Holiday Haunted Mansion. We've got a special Holiday Haunted Mansion. I think it's 20 years since this all started, if I'm correct, and that means we're going to see a very special Gingerbread House this year, aren't we, Chase? Which I'm sure you're
Yeah.
going to show us when you go over in September. But what's happening with that? What's the Gingerbread House going to look like this year for the Holiday Mansion?
Well, I was pretty excited. I'm actually not sure if I still have it on the site, but I did at
Yep.
one point, and they showed the concept art for the new gingerbread house, and
Yep.
it's got a element from every single year that they've been doing the Haunted Mansion holiday
Right.
in the house. So it looks pretty amazing. There's plenty of those man-eating wreaths, which are my favorite. Um, it's got a couple of gingerbread men in absolute peril, which is it's a gruesome house this year. The 50th anniversary house was really, really cool. It was lit up. It had all kinds of really neat elements, and this one is kind of scary. They
Yep.
really, they really made it dangerous for some of these gingerbread men that are exploring the house.
Yep.
Um, it just looks not very welcoming.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of exciting. You have to remember that, if you are into the history of the Haunted Mansion, it was quite gruesome and scary before the guests ever got to see what was actually inside. There were some pretty spooky things that they came up with that never made it into the attraction.
Yeah. Yep.
And at one point, it was supposed to be a walkthrough. You were supposed to be able to walk with a maid or butler through the house and kind of
Mm-hmm.
explore that way.
Yep.
And there was some pretty freaky stuff in there. So,
Yep.
I guess kind of touching back to the roots of being a very scary house. And I'm excited to see it. I always love seeing the ballroom and how they change it over for
Mm.
the holidays, and I love the Nightmare Before Christmas. So seeing Jack and Sally and Zero and Oogie Boogie and all the characters is just so much fun every year. I know the entire stretching room portrait dialogue by heart. So I'm usually in there standing up, looking at the ceiling and reciting the whole thing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I love it so much.
Hmm.
And the other neat part is, if any of you are familiar with the virtual tour that I have of Disneyland, I do switch it over to the holiday version once it's open in the parks. So
Yep, yep.
that's another cool thing. My park switches over like the actual park does for Halloween, at least for the Haunted Mansion. I
Yep.
usually don't do the Space Mountain because it's very hard to film, so there's not much to see.
Yeah, yeah, it is very hard to film over there, even when it's in the normal overlay. As soon as you get into the sort of up the ramp and the countdown happens, you can't really see anything on camera. It's really hard to get it. I mean, yeah, so hard to film that one, but as soon I'm sure that we'll see it all over the internet as soon as it reopens. I'm very excited for that one. The other thing that we're very excited to see over at California is the fact that the Oogie Boogie sign is starting to be built over there. Really
Yes.
happy about that. Really excited about that. We're seeing Oogie Boogie Bash come back this year. Yay! So that's great. Um, we're going to get the parade back again for Oogie Boogie and a lot of the attractions.
Frightfully Fun, I believe
Yep,
it's called, the
Colt.
Frightfully Fun Parade.
Yep. And we will see a lot of the villain actors. They were socially distanced before the pandemic started, so I'm sure we'll get the trails and those socially distanced sort of characters at the end of the trails for Oogie Boogie Bash.
Yep.
So really excited to start seeing that. Really excited to see the sign back up for Halloween. Halloween's probably my favorite time of year in the parks. It's so cool. There's lots and lots of decor that goes into Disneyland and DCR. I mean, walking into Cars Land is like a totally new
Cars Land is
experience.
so fun. It's
Yeah.
so fun. And um, one of my favorite things is actually just going into California Adventure, and right there on Buena Vista Street, right as you're walking into the park, is the Headless
Oh
Horseman
yes.
and his horse statue, which actually exhales some
Smoke.
steam.
Yeah.
If you've watched it, you have to really watch it occasionally. You'll hear a
Yep.
sound, I believe, and then it
Yep.
exhales that steam, and then it's just another aspect of it that just makes it so cool.
Yep. And the
But
projection
that
map.
should all be
Sorry, go
coming
ahead.
in very, very soon.
Yep. Yep.
September 3rd is the
Yep.
transition date, and when the
Beautiful.
Haunted Mansion opens back up,
Yep.
and Oogie Boogie starts on September 9th, which is my sister's birthday.
Yep. And so when's the official date? Is that that Halloween starts at the park? Is that when the haunted mansion?
September
Yep.
3rd.
Or third. Okay. Great. Great. So that's fantastic. And I was just going to mention that one of my favorite things also in DCA is that projection mapping they do on Cathay. That's that is really, really awesome. I'm really excited for Halloween. I did want to go talk a bit more about Halloween. This week, really, we had a lot of merchandise come out for Halloween 2021. What did you think of the merch that came out? We've got sort of this plaid idea this year. If you can see it here in Mickey's ears, and the new designs, I think look quite nice. What do you think of what the merch that came out this week? Probably haven't seen the end of it either. We've probably got a lot to go.
A lot of the big new changes that I'm seeing are they've added a bunch of Hocus Pocus, which is
Yeah. Yep.
I have a feeling is because of the fact that they've got Hocus Pocus 2 coming out on Disney Plus relatively soon.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're starting to see all the Sanderson sisters. There is a shirt, kind of like a Spirit jersey,
Yep.
with them on it. There are also glasses,
Yep.
There's the plushies that you're seeing there.
Yep.
They're showing up on quite a bit of merchandise for Halloween, which is great.
Yep.
I'm loving the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff as usual. They've got an amazing looking. What I can only say the style is, I mean, if they do a sweatshirt or anything, to me it looks very Spirit Jersey-ish.
Yep.
They have one for Jack, which is his face, and then on the inside is very lightly drawn is a picture of Sally, and
Yep.
it has Disney across the front and Land on the arm, which is a very cool looking shirt. They do have some Halloween hoodies and other Spirit jerseys with a lot of pumpkins.
Yep.
So that was pretty. There's some pretty cool merch coming out, I think. There's some pretty. There's some of those light up necklaces that you can get. The little like Jack heads that light up and flash, and so that'll be cool. That'll be cool to see. Look at, they've got Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, Villains. One thing that I haven't heard too much of recently, which I thought we'd be seeing more of, is that they are doing Muppets at the Haunted Mansion.
What the?
Which is it's going to be something on Disney Plus, and the different characters are they stay, I guess, overnight in the Haunted Mansion, and it's just going to be the Muppet experience inside the Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
So that should be coming out relatively soon, I would think.
Yep.
And there's just a lot of stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I have a mug that I have wanted to get for so long, and I'm hoping that maybe it'll be there. But the poison apple ceramic mug from Snow White. Yeah, I've wanted that for so long.
Yeah. No. I know the one you mean. That's an awesome thing, and it's always around at Halloween, so you should see it there. I'm pretty sure. That's right. So Halloween, really excited for it. We will see a lot of decor go up this week, I'm thinking, in Disneyland for the season. So really excited about that one. I just wanted to go over Disney World now. We've seen a couple of things come through for the 50th at Disney World, which makes it a little bit more exciting. And this was one of the things. So we're going to get a new fireworks display, especially for the 50th. And for the first time in Disney World, we've had this a lot over at Disneyland. They are using the Main Street buildings in the projection mapping for the first time over there in Disney World. And let me tell you, and I know you know this, Chase, that when you see it in Disneyland, it's a fantastic thing to actually be surrounded by the show as you're standing in Main Street. And I think it'll make for a really, the fireworks shows that they put on at Disney World, absolutely, and projection matching they do on the castle is absolutely sensational. And to see it on the buildings in Main Street now will make for an absolutely awesome show. What do you think about what's going to be happening there, Chase, for the 50th? I mean, I'll show you guys a video that we also have of the making of the gold statues that they're putting up. But it's shaping up to be a very, a huge celebration there at Disney World. Very, very jealous of our other magic partner, Bryan, who will be there for the opening night and fireworks. Very jealous of that. But of course, over at Bryan's Magic Life, you'll be able to see all that. Make sure you go over there and subscribe, because the channel is growing very, very quickly. And
he's doing some live videos from there. So if you want to see Bryan over at the parks, watch his live streams. They're pretty amazing. Yeah,
they're great. They've been coming through really well as well, so very nice and clear. And I'm sure he'll be live streaming this fireworks show when it starts. So we're very excited about that. And, I mean, they're doing some amazing things over there. One of the other things that is amazing is the way they're making these statues over there. Now, let me see if I can load this video. But so what are they doing with, how many statues are they actually putting up over there? Do you know, Chase? I think it's...
They are doing 50. So 50 statues for 50 years.
Yep.
And they're going to be distributed between the parks. So it's not 50 per park. It's, 50 total spread between the different parks.
Right.
And
yep.
Right now it sounds like quite a few of them are going to the Magic Kingdom right now. I haven't heard about too many being at the other parks.
Right.
Epcot would probably be the second highest distribution with Figment there. Figment is sort of the mascot of Epcot. So that made perfect sense. But the newest one is going to be Pinocchio.
Yep.
That they've added to the list. And some of them I was surprised to see, like Dante there that they're polishing up. I was kind of surprised to see Dante in there, but he's such a funny character. He's such a fun animal. Little, as far as dogs go, Disney dogs are so funny anyway.
Yep.
But the process, you can see the smelting going on there and the care that they take to put these in their frame and the metals that they use and the polishing and everything. And it just comes out with just these amazing statues that they're going. And I'm hoping they just keep them there permanently. That would be great. I'd hate to see these taken out after, the ceremonies and everything and the celebration and just put into storage somewhere. It would be so great to just continue to see them at the park.
It's kind of like Christmas decorations. You want them to stay around all year, don't you? You don't want them to leave. And we've had it announced as well down at Disney World. We're going to see a very special holiday sort of season over there. There's going to be a nighttime show. So we're looking forward to that a lot with Disney World. And also over there at Disneyland, we're waiting to see details of what we'll get for the holiday season. I'm sure they're going to announce them pretty soon as we wait for Halloween to come. We usually get some sort of announcement around this time of what is actually going to happen, but I'm sure we will get something for the holiday season for sure over there at Disneyland as well. So looking forward to that, but let's get through Halloween first. The other thing we sort of learned about this week was, talking about sort of interactive and on your phone sort of stuff. We did get further announcements about the Disney Wish as well this week. And we saw this come through, which was this sort of interactive quest you go on while you're on board. Sort of kind of like a treasure hunt, I guess, in many ways. But you do see a lot of things happening here on your phone, right, Chase? So you need to whip your phone out to sort of go on this kind of quest through the Wish as well. And
from the reading that I did about it, it looks like, basically what would happen if the wishing star were to all of a sudden disappear from the night sky. And supposedly you're looking for pieces of the magical wishing star to return it to the sky and restore its magic power, and bits and pieces are supposedly around the ship.
Right.
So I'm guessing that the experience, you probably get a lot of clues sent to your phone, and then there's probably some sort of augmented reality that's going on. So for people who want the easiest kind of example as to what like an augmented reality thing is, it's probably a lot like Pokemon Go or something where you use your phone, you track these around, and all of a sudden, you may spot it on the camera of your phone as you're going to these different things. And then all of a sudden, once you finish whatever puzzles they have for you, whatever these quests are, you'll probably be able to point your phone to the sky like that little boy was shown doing. Yep. And the star will be restored in the sky. So I think it's going to be fun. It'll be a fun activity between parents and kids, especially if, the parents have the phone and they just want to walk around and with their kids and get to know the ship and get to know the cast members of the ship. But yeah, it looks like it's a fun activity, but it is. They are starting to have a lot more interactive games and experiences with smartphones because it is a very popular tool.
Yep. Yeah, no, it looks really good. Really excited to see it on the Wish. And the Wish sales next year, so make sure you book in. We've already got Disney Cruising happening, I believe now, or is it September?
The Disney Dream made its first sale.
Yep.
And that was pretty cool, actually. I watched JoJo's videos of the Disney Dream, and I was like, man, this makes me want to go on a cruise even more.
Yeah, for sure. And look, heading over to Disney Springs now over there at Walt Disney World, and we had some exciting news with Cirque du Soleil there, which has been showing there for many, many years there at Disney Springs, but has been closed for the time being. But looks like we're going to get a show back over at Disney Springs, Cirque du Soleil, which is really exciting. Tell us a bit about what we're seeing here, Chase, the new show to see there.
This new show is called Off the Page, and it's sort of a kind of like a nod to classic hand-drawn animation, so original 2D animation in Cirque style. And if you have never seen a Cirque du Soleil performance, I highly recommend them. They are amazing, and it's just like, if there's anything that makes you feel, wondrous, this is a kind of performance that does that. It has so much magic, and it is so much animation of the human body. So you really do get an amazing experience when you see these shows. The very first time that I went to Walt Disney World, I saw La Nuba, which is the show that ran there for so long. And it blew my mind. It was my very first experience with a Cirque du Soleil show. I've seen now, I believe, 5 different productions from Cirque du Soleil. And they had a very difficult time during the pandemic. The loss of being able to do these performances and the cost to all these performers and, what it takes to put on a production like this. Probably the pandemic nearly bankrupt Cirque du Soleil. So
absolutely
show your support to these amazing performers. They are extremely disciplined and very, very talented. They are masters of their craft. It is about as exclusive getting into a Cirque cast as being a ballet dancer. It is very, very hard on their body, and it is very demanding, and it is perfection. So if you want to see an amazing show, go see this. I can't wait to see another Cirque du Soleil performance. I've seen 2 in Vegas, 1 here where I live, and I would love to see this show if I could make it over to Florida again anytime soon.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I just wanted to go back to that, to what we were talking about, the Gingerbread House before as well. So this is the Gingerbread House that we were talking about. Yeah. Yep. So this is how it's going to show all of those years that we've had the holiday overlay on. You guys can go and have a look over at that. I believe you reported on one of your stories on Disneyland Today. Don't
Yeah.
forget to go over to DisneylandToday.net over this Halloween season and, in fact, the holiday season to get all up-to-date details. I mean, this week we talked about Genie, and all those details were there as soon as that came to light. So make sure, if you want to stay up to date with Disneyland and everything Disney, you head over to DisneylandToday.net, because Chase is writing some great articles over there. Make sure you join up and subscribe, and leave Chase a message with anything you want to know about Disneyland, and in fact Disney. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel below as well. As we head into Halloween and also the holiday season, we will be here every week telling you exactly what's going on. So if you're thinking about journeying to the park or watching Disney Plus or doing anything Disney, we're here to tell you what's going on. So subscribe, ring the bell, and make sure that you are here every week to be informed, basically.
Exactly.
So as we're running out of time, once again, I did want to go over and talk about what's going to be happening on Disney Plus moving forward. We have had a couple of what if shows now that have started happening on Disney Plus. 2 episodes so far. One aired last week. The second one aired this week. I believe it's on Wednesdays they come out. So what have we seen so far, and what are your thoughts on the first 2 episodes, Chase, of What If? And before you go ahead, just spoiler alert, guys, if you haven't seen the shows, we will reveal a lot of what's going on, so you might want to just sort of turn the volume down for now. So what did you think, Chase? What do you think of What If?
I love this show. I think it is very, very cool. The first, I think, with this is a type of animation that is, you either like it or you don't. And this type of, the way that they do this, and the process of doing the type of animation that is done here was the same type of animation that we saw for Star Wars when they did the show after Rebels. It's that the name is escaping me for the type of animation that it is and what exactly it's called. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I'll probably randomly remember it. Cell shading. Cell shading.
Yep.
So this is the type of animation, but I think it's perfected with this show. I think it brings a entirely new element of not only a comic book appearance, but also a bit of realism. So you do see a bit of realism in the characters, but also you have that comic book look, like it's been drawn on a page, and the blocks are coming to life. So I really, really like what they've done here. The first episode was all about Captain Carter. So if you're familiar with Agent Carter, who got her own show after Captain America, this is just like another example that you really get to see Peggy kick some butt. And I really, really like it because I love Agent Carter. I love Peggy. And the neat thing so far with this show is they got quite a bit of original cast to voice the characters. So for this first episode, you do have Haley. We've got Sebastian in there. And it was good to see so many of the characters revoice their animated versions, and that was really exciting. So we got the actor. His name escapes me at the moment, but we got the actor who played Howard Stark. Peggy, Sebastian Stan for Bucky, and along with some of the other soldiers who are part of the kind of misfit band that joined Steve. It was good to see them all back. I really liked how Steve and Peggy still have a very, very close relationship, even though
Yep.
he wasn't the one who got the super serum.
Yep.
She does instead. And I think it was a nice branch off the timeline for this one.
Yep.
And the second one, of course, was the Ravagers episode. So instead of Star-Lord's Peter Quill, we get T'Challa as Star-Lord, which I think is a very, very interesting choice.
I did think that was interesting.
But I think what really pulls on the heartstrings of this episode is that it is the original voice. We did get Chadwick for this was probably his last performance of recording these lines before his passing. So it's really powerful to have Chadwick voice T'Challa for this episode, and we're not sure if we'll see him in other episodes moving forward if he recorded them before he passed away. But Michael Rooker and Josh Brolin for Thanos. We also had the original voices for a couple of the Ravagers, like Taserface, and also his like second in command. I can't remember his name right off the bat, but we also got Nebula, the voice actress for Nebula. So a lot of the cast was back for this one, and I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
This episode was so funny. It was just, some of it was, it had its moments where it was like, oh man, that's crazy. But a lot of it was super funny. Seeing Thanos as sort of like this kind of bro that hangs out with everybody is very, very different.
Yep.
And seeing Nebula with a full head of hair was like, well, wait,
what
just happened here?
Yeah, it's got its funny parts, and it plays well into sort of what happened with Loki, doesn't it? I mean, it's really showing you what, the multi-universe is all about now. I really like it. How many episodes are we going to see in the season? Do you know, Chase?
Oh, I want to say that there's not a lot. I want to say it's probably around the vicinity of what we got for the other Marvel series, to where it's like anywhere from 6 to 9 ish episodes. But, I think there's going to be more than just this first season, I'm guessing, because I think they'll keep on doing them based on what movies we continue to see. They've really pushed these first 2 episodes in the previews, so we really don't have much of an idea of what's coming now. They've showed a lot of Captain Carter and a lot of this the stuff with T'Challa, but they haven't really showed us what. Now you got Doctor Strange. That's probably our next one. Because that's the only other ones that we've seen, except for the Avengers and everything. That'll be another one. But a lot of this is kind of up in the air, and that's exciting. And I can't wait to see what more comes from this show, because I am loving these episodes, and the stories are about 30 minutes, or so. So you get a good idea of what the original story was. It runs down, it kind of goes through the most important part of the movies in this multiverse. So if you've seen the original shows that they're from, you get the gist of what the movie was when you see this multiverse version. So
awesome.
I'm excited to see Spider-Man, because
that'll be
love
cool.
Spider-Man. So.
And another show that is coming to Disney Plus as well, which we saw a trailer for this week, is this one right here. Very excited for this one. This is Star Wars Visions. And it's kind of Star Wars in anime, really.
Yes.
So excited for that. Looks fantastic. What are your thoughts on this? When are we seeing this on Disney Plus? When's the start date? Do we know that as
This will
yet?
be late September.
Right. Yep.
So coming very soon.
Yep.
And I am super excited about this because they went to different studios. So it's very different styles of drawing. As you can see, they go from being very simple to almost like a movie like, you know, Spirited Away and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of studio, to something like far more advanced, like almost like you would see some of the titles that I'm that are on the top of my like oh, I just can't even think of it. I love these different movies that they're compiling. I don't even know how long they'll be. I'm hoping they're pretty decent length to be able to tell a full story. But it's very interesting to see how different studios come up with Star Wars characters. And this is something that we have seen before. We have seen like the original trilogy in little snippets that have been drawn in an anime style, and people loved them. They went like, you know, like, why can't we see the whole movie this way? And to now see it realized in this way is super exciting, especially that one right there that just, it looks so realistic. And some of it looks very dark, but some of it looks hilarious, like really funny. So
you know what it kind of reminds me of?
I'm interested to see. I think one of the studios is the one who does Astro Boy, because it is mentioned.
It looks very Astro Boy part anime. Of it. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you remember, but what they did with the Matrix series. In between two of the episodes, they released some anime sort of backstories and stories within the Matrix that really, and they chose a few studios again to do to tell those stories, and it just feels like that storytelling that we're going to get, which was great. I loved that when they did that with the Matrix. So to do it with Star Wars, it's really exciting. And September 22nd, can't wait for that. We've been, after the Bad Batch is over, we're now really, really wanting something more Star Wars.
This one, I believe they'll be released all at once. So like a weekly thing.
Oh, right. Okay, so we can see them all at once. Wow, that's a binge watch and a half. So always seem to be getting something on Disney Plus, don't we? We sort of you know, think that there's nothing on this week, and then all of a sudden we just get flooded again. So, but you know, I'm not complaining, certainly, especially when the Star Wars stuff comes on. We did hear as well this week that Mandalorian 3 has started filming. Not sure that we're going to see that again this December, as it's you know, it's very, very close now. But we are going to see the Boba Fett series come in December. So that'll be one to watch out for. I'm sure we'll get some cameos from the Mandalorian during that season. Not confirmed, but I'm sure we'll get lots of characters appearing that we well know, because we seem to be creating this sort of MCU sort of feel to Star Wars. So there's lots of interconnecting things that we expect to see really now, don't we, in some of these series. We saw a lot of Easter eggs in the Bad Batch. We saw a lot of connections in the Mandalorian season 2. And indeed, we're going to see... sorry, go ahead.
The season finale for Bad Batch was amazing.
Yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what actually happened in the last episode of Bad Batch, because we haven't talked about that since we were last on. What did you think of the last season, and what it means for next year, Chase, with season 2?
I'm kind of glad that it stuck with my, from the very beginning, I was not a fan of Crosshair, and I was kind of glad that I wasn't disappointed with the fact that I didn't like him, because even now he didn't change, which is not very, everybody who knows like Disney, you expect to get a change out of a character,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
that follows so many good people. You're like, they're for sure gonna change him. But Crosshair stuck with his guns, you could
Yeah.
say.
Yep.
And he was like, I'm a soldier, I don't believe that I'm being replaced.
Yep.
They could never replace me. And even
Yep.
though they were all betrayed, and that the Camino station was collapsed on top of them,
Yep.
he still believed that he is critical to the Empire,
Empire. Yeah.
and he's just waiting there to be picked up. And so he's going to either be rewarded for his loyalty, which I highly doubt,
Yeah.
because
Knowing the Empire.
they seem to be considering clones like animals. So
Yeah.
they're
Yep.
just kind of brushed off to the side, whereas humans are starting to come back into service with the TK stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have a very harsh reality. He's either going to die believing it, or he's just going to go off on his own thing and kind of just be this lone wolf that kind of disappears into the background, because he won't have any purpose.
Yeah.
If he's not a soldier, he's nothing.
Yeah.
And so no matter how hard Omega tried, she got a few kind of things out of him, like a little bit of a guilt trip or whatever it was. But I think he saw it as, now we're even.
Yeah,
so
now we're even.
I don't owe you anything, you don't owe me anything, we're even. And she clearly wanted more out of it. She wanted to see him realize that this is his family. They are all family. And he didn't do it. So I was kind of, I was like, good. They stuck with it instead of making it this, oh, you're a good guy now.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the biggest shock there was that his inhibitorship was gone. We thought it was still there, and that it was actually gone, and that he still felt the same way. I think that I don't think he's going to disappear. I think that there's a lot more conflict to come between. I mean, because if he does get picked up by the Empire, obviously they're going to meet again, and the way he handles that will be interesting to know. I think that season 2, very excited about it. I think they've paved the way for a great series of seasons for sure. So
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, we're over that, way over that hour actually again today. So we're going to move to close the show. So Chase, big week in Disney again. I'm sure we will be back next week. Bryan's taking a little break for the next few weeks. He needs to concentrate on the channel. He is in the park so much lately. We do hope to cross to him live. Exciting thing coming up in September will be Chase going over to Disneyland. Of course, we will go live to Chase when that happens, and I'm sure
you're probably going to have to cover me live on August 25th as I'm waiting in line to get my magic key.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that as well.
Queue, 5 hours in.
Yeah, I think we'll have to do that. We'll have to go live to the Magic Key experience. I'm sure we'll base a whole show off you walking around Disneyland as well. We're really excited for that.
Yeah.
And we will talk Disneyland when that happens, and we want to see all the excitement of Halloween at Disney when you're there, including a ride in a haunted mansion. We're really looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
So we can't wait for that. Lots of exciting things happening. So make sure you guys subscribe and ring the bell so you know when we're coming to you. We will be coming to you every week, and also for specialty shows live in Disneyland and also in Disney World. So that's really exciting news coming up. And we will see you real soon. Thanks very much for joining me once again, Chase. Hoping that things are going great over there and that Disney continues to, have wonderful news for us every week. I'm sure they will. The parks continue to grow and things are really, really starting to happen as we kiss goodbye to this pandemic very, very soon, we hope. But that's it for us this week. Lovely to see you guys. Or as always, stay safe, and we will see you guys real soon. See you later. Bye.